The main difference is what was going on in my head. Like, that's the main difference. I didn't do, like, even now that I think back, like when I came to Toronto and when I said I want to change, I want to be a better person, I want to improve myself, I didn't know where I'm heading. Like, I didn't know what will be the end point. And I would never expect that it felt so good. Like, yeah, but it's so funny because I asked for something, like I asked to be a better person and to improve myself, but I didn't know what it means, like how will I improve myself, until I realized that basically who I am, it's okay. It's not like improving yourself when it comes to your skills or when it comes to your how do you look or your body or your whatever. It's accepting yourself, like that's who I am. I'm still working on my better self, of course I am, but that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful or I'm not appreciating who I am now. So I kind of shift from this being ashamed of myself and trying to be someone I'm not and trying to pretend that to be someone that people will like me, to just be myself. That's the main shift I did.
Hello, welcome to episode number 10 of Toronto. My name is MJ and my guest today is Taja Karner. Taja is a nutritionist from Slovenia who came to Toronto to live in Toronto for a couple of months as a visiting research scientist for the St. Michael's Hospital. And before she heads back to Slovenia and go on to her next adventure, since I had a chance to meet her and learn a little bit more about her, I thought it'd be really interesting to be able to share her journey, especially when she arrived to Toronto and what she learned, to be able to share that experience with you, because I think it's going to help and inspire a lot of people. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, MJ, for having me here. It was such an honor when you say I can come and be in the interview. That's my first interview, so it's excited. Yes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. I could not ask you. After all the conversation, I'm like, I have to ask her before she goes. So
So here we are.
Yes. So my first question to you, so you're a nutritionist. How did that come about? Why did you decide to become a nutritionist?
Actually, I studied biochemistry before. So I finished with the degree in biochemistry. But in the second year while studying, I was like, that's not where I want to work with. I kind of like the idea of biochemistry. I love to know what is going on in my body. But on the other hand, I didn't feel myself like working in a lab all day or just not being with human and not having this contact and working with people. So then I decided to try to look into different aspects of nutrition. And I was searching for a master program that could suit basically, that would be a combination of biochemistry and nutrition. So I found a program in Denmark that's called molecular nutrition, which is basically what is happening into your body while you're eating. So and why I was interested in nutrition is basically, I think most of the nutritionists can relate to this, that I had some health problems and I was struggling with it. I had digestional problems, I have stomach aches, like after every meal I was not able to eat. I didn't even know what's going on. I went to see a lot of doctors, no one could really help me. they just give me some drugs, and after a while it was all back. But when I went to Denmark, I also decided to just like transform my way of living. Yeah, I was still struggling for the first, like in the beginning, because you don't know exactly what your body needs. But after a while, when you find the best food for yourself, it just, you get so much energy, you become so passionate about it, that you just want to share it with the world. And you say, okay, I found the best solution for me. I know it's not the same solution that a lot of other nutritionists suggested to me. So I realized it's all about personal nutrition. Like, what is best for your body is not best for my body, and the other way around. So yeah, I want to work in this area just to help people, like, to feel better, because food is so important. Yeah.
Nice. So what inspired you to start taking care, like to start doing more research? Is it something in Denmark that kind of like triggered that, or?
I think it was just because I have to heal myself. Yeah, that was the main reason. Because I was struggling too much, and I say, okay, that's not good. Like, I think that most of the students can relate to that. Yes, I was eating a lot of junk food. I was eating a lot of sweets. Like in Slovenia, we have this kind of offer, like we get meals very cheap as a student. So we were just overeating everything that came. And in the end, I didn't feel good, or I didn't even have energy. I was just like, I couldn't go without a nap. I wake up tired. Then of course you have to study. You study during the night. You just like, my whole body was disaster. So I couldn't live with it. So I just started like searching in this area, and yeah, healing myself with food. Yeah.
Cool. And how did you go from Denmark to Toronto?
Oh, that was a funny thing. Yeah. I went to Denmark, and I was there for 1 year. And after this year, I got so comfortable. Like, Denmark is such a cozy country because, I mean, even if I decided to work there or have a job there, I could get it. I can have a good salary. I could have a pretty good life, but for me, kind of a boring life. So after I finished my first year, my biggest wish was that I do my second year, which would be my master project, with something that is related to people. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'm not gonna go in a lab and work in a lab every day. I want to work with patients. I want to work with people. And in Denmark, they were not able to offer me anything like this because they were closing a lot of like huge research. So they didn't have anything for me. So I said, okay, just send me somewhere. For me, it doesn't matter. Like, the farthest I can go, it's the best for me. And then my mentor said to me, well, I don't know if you will be interested, but maybe we can send you to Toronto. And I was like, yes, let's go to Toronto. And yeah, and I just said, yeah, just let's type an email and let's go. And he said, okay, we will say, but you have to be sure. I'm not just gonna ask. And I said, I'm sure, I'm totally sure. So we wrote an email, and the next day I already got a reply, and the reply was immediately, yeah, she can come, like no questions. Wow. And I was just like, oh my God, I didn't even tell to my parents. I was just like, but then I just call like my mom and I say, Mom, there's something I need to tell you. And she said, what's wrong? No. And I said, well, maybe I'm moving to Toronto after 2 months. And she's like, no, it doesn't matter. You're not here anyway. So, because first I thought she's going to be, oh my God, you're going even further. Mm. But then she was like, okay, you're not here for 1 year already. So it doesn't really matter if you're in Toronto or if you're in Denmark. It's still away. So yeah, so that's when I came here.
How long did it take from the decision to go to Toronto and actually being in a plane?
Yeah, we made a decision in June, and then I had my whole summer left. So I came here in the end of September.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually I was not concerned about Toronto at all, except the last 2 days. Last 2 days, before I went to Canada, I was crying. I was like, I don't want to go. I was so scared. I was just like, it felt so, I don't know. I was excited, but I was so scared. I just didn't want to go. And mainly because I spent the last 3 months in Slovenia. So I got comfortable again. Like now I'm in my home country. Everything is so like cozy there. But yeah, I had to go. And even I remember when I was in the airport and I have to say goodbye. Actually, I was so late for a flight that they already called me, like last call, Taja, come to the gate, no. And so I couldn't even say goodbye. I was just like, bye, just go. So it was better because anyway, I was crying anyway. But still, as soon as I got on the plane, I was just like, that's it. Whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
Like.
Wow. And it was just you? Were you with other students?
No.
Or just you?
I was alone. Yeah.
What? And was it your first time traveling this far?
Yes. I haven't been anywhere. Oh, okay. I have been in the north part of Africa, but that's still 4 hours flight or something. Yeah. So no, I haven't been that far. Not even with anyone else. Wow. So it was my first time at all. Amazing. Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. Like I came here and I knew I met some Slovenian people on Facebook. Okay. So I met a girl, and she's actually the same age as me, and she came also here on the master. So we connected really good on Facebook already. So I just said, okay, at least I have someone when I come here. And then she introduced me with other Slovenian people. And we had a group, like there were 4 of us, that like we connect so well. Nice. I was shocked because usually the Slovenian people that goes abroad, they're usually very good. Like we connect very good. So, but this connection that we had, it was so perfect for the beginning because it makes everything easier. Wow. Like, so I wasn't totally alone.
Wow, but it's still pretty courageous. And what did you know about Toronto before?
I knew only that I'm gonna live 20 kilometers away from the center. So that's the only thing I knew. I didn't even know how I'm gonna come to the center. So I came here and I said, okay, the next day I'm gonna go downtown to see how it is. And I just checked Google Maps. I was just like, check where I have to go. I got lost a lot of times, of course. I didn't have data. It was just like, it's the beginning. Wow. And then also, I mean, I had a lot of problems because everything is different here. And even whenever I want to, like, when I want to buy a phone number, I couldn't because you need to have a Canadian bank account to have it. So it's like all the small things that is just like corrupting away, and you just have to figure it out.
Oh, wow, that was quite the test. Like you just land it and then figure it out type thing. Wow.
But that's part of the process. It's like that's what make it all excited. Like right now, if you ask me, like I go back to Slovenia and I'll be there just for 1 month. Then I go to Denmark again. But after that, I would love to go somewhere new again, because you kind of get addicted to it. It's like, it's so good. It's like so many challenges, but after you overcome it, it's
quite something. Yeah. My goodness. And how was your experience doing the research in the nutrition research at the hospital? How did that go? Did you get to be with people like you were expecting, or?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it wasn't exactly as I expected, but still I learned a lot. I really loved the colleagues we were working with. So everything was really good. Even the thing I loved the most was I came there and they said to me, okay, this is your project, you're gonna work on it. We just want you to finish it, and that's it. You can come whenever you want, you can leave whenever you need. So it's basically your own job, your own boss.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's my dream job. I could work in this area.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was also a good experience because you kind of like guide the whole research, so you see things differently. Like even as a nutritionist, if you want to learn something new, you will have to look into the data, look into the papers, and it's so much easier once you have already been a part of a research, so that you know why they did this, why they did this. So it's easier for you to go back and then to read what others did, because you have already done it. So it was a really good experience, yeah.
Oh, cool. Awesome. And then while you were here, it wasn't just the nutritional part, you transformed. And there is because where we met at a conference called Top 10. And
That was so nice.
yes, it was a very nice conference. And I got to know her a little bit better. And then she had started a YouTube channel called Ordinary Cookie. Yes. So how did that come about?
That was interesting. Actually, the thing was that it was in November when I wasn't satisfied, like with, or October already. It was very in the beginning. So I kind of felt like that I'm stuck, that I don't know where I'm going. Because even when it comes to nutrition, I'm still not 100% sure that that's where I want to work with. I know it's a big deal in our life, but it's not just about nutrition, because I also realize when it comes to me that even though if I take care about what I'm eating, it's not always that. It's not always what makes me healthy in the end. So I didn't know where I want to go, and I kind of feel that I'm losing my potential, that I'm not giving anything to this world. Like, I felt like I have so much potential, I have so much to give, but I was just like capturing into myself, not being related to the world and not doing anything significant. So at one point, I just got the idea. I was like, I should record a video. And I was like, when I got the idea, I was like, no, that's terrible. That would not work. So I just put it aside and just forget about it. But then I got it again and again and again. And at one point, I remember it was Sunday, and I was just like, I put my Mac like this, and I just pressed like record, and I just like, hey, no. And I watched it again and again and again, and I was like, actually, I feel good after recording it. Nice. It felt good to say whatever was on my mind. So I said to myself, I have to do this for 30 days every day. Just like writing a journal or something. Just basically a conversation to myself, and also to share whatever was the lecture of a day or whatever I kind of get it from this day. So I said, okay, I can do this challenge, but I didn't believe I'm gonna publish it. So in the beginning, it was just about recording it. So I started with day one. I hate it. Day one was terrible. And I say, okay, I'm gonna see if tomorrow is gonna be terrible again, then I'm gonna quit. And I did day two, and I like it. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I did day three, and it's getting better and better. And it was still like some days was good, some days were bad. But I kind of feel like being satisfied after I recorded it. It was like a perfect ending of a day. And I remember it was a day 8 or something when I collapsed. I was crying. I felt so bad, and I didn't even know what was going on. And the next day, I remember I took a day off. I was just like trying to figure it out, what was going on, what is bothering me. And then it hits me like it comes like from nowhere, that all this time when I was just trying to travel, trying to move in another country, it was just because I tried to escape what other people thought about me. I thought that as soon as I will move to a new country, no one knows me there, so I can finally be myself. So I realized I have this big fear of what other people thought about me. And when I say it loud in a video, it just felt so good. It was like, oh, that's it. And I realized that the only person I was kind of running away from was actually me, myself, like my mind. I was ruining everything in my life just because I was overthinking and creating problems that were not even there, and just like overstressing about everything, basically everything. Like even if I just went from my house to grocery just to buy some stuff and I didn't put my makeup on, and just some people would just like look at me like just slightly. I would think, oh my God, what did they think about me? It's like, does it even matter? It's like I don't even know them, nothing. But I was so frustrated with all this stuff. So after I got through this and I kind of feel that that's a problem, I said, okay, I have to overcome this fear. And it just felt so good to publish the videos, because that was kind of like a proof to myself that I don't give a fuck anymore. Oh. It's like, it was like a proof that I don't care what other people think. And I kind of feel like all my videos are on YouTube. So most of the people, or whoever watch it, knows how I am. Mm. So that means that if you know who I am, why would I pretend when I meet you? It's like I can be myself finally. Like I don't need to pretend anymore. So it was kind of like just escaping my mind with this ordinary cookie. It was so good. And yeah, and also like the name came on, I didn't know what's going to be the name or anything in the beginning. And then at one point I was just like, I had this kind of realization that even though maybe my life seems different, like I travel, I move around and everything, I'm still totally the same as any other human being. So I feel like we are all ordinary and we have all the same needs. Like we are craving the same stuff. We just want to be, like appreciated. We want to feel loved. We want to like be like what's it called? Bah. We want to like that someone will basically, that someone cares for us. Mm. We want that like kind of connection. Yeah. And I realize it's so sad that we often like we don't say it loud what is bothering us. We just keep it in ourselves. When on the other hand, if I say it loud, you probably say, yeah, I have the same issues. It's just a bit different, but it's pretty much the same. And we can help each other so much. But we just keep on like, no, I have to be perfect. I have to do this and this and this so people will like me. But when it's that, it's like when you're yourself, that's when people start liking you. Yeah. That's a huge difference. Yeah. So that's why I make this ordinary cookie. And I wanted other people to also like confess that we are all ordinary. That even still, my wish is still that people that are super successful, that are famous, that everyone love it, that they would say, I'm just like you. I'm an ordinary cookie. There's no difference between you and me. I just decided to live it in extraordinary way because each of us has its own way. Yeah. Like we just have to figure it out what it is.
The same potential type thing. It's so cool that, so you never planned to publish them, but once you saw that the fear, like basically publishing was a way for you to solve that problem of, that is really cool. Yeah.
Because, I mean, what is worse than putting your video on YouTube?
Yeah, it's a little scary.
It's like, especially if you, I don't know, especially when I was crying, I was just like, I didn't wear any makeup. I was crying there and I was just like, I felt like, oh my God, you're so terrible in this video. But actually, when I published this video, I got the most feedback. Like people will just like, they say, it's gonna be okay. You're on the right path. You're just like, a lot of people like sending me messages, and I was just like, wow, that's really good. Like at the point where I was really true to myself, I just open my heart, say whatever comes to my mind. I kind of attract people, like, and as soon as you put a mask on and then you have to be perfect, you just like, they're just going away.
Yeah. It's one of these weird habits that most people have, trying to kind of like shed the layers and just be authentic. That's like the word that comes out. What was I going to ask with respect to that? So after you've done that for 30 days, and
then I think I recorded one more or two more, and because also what was the issue like that I have to overcome was when you start uploading videos, there is usually not a lot of viewers. So you kind of feel, oh my God, I put so much effort in it, but no one watched it, and it's so good, it's so inspirational, please watch it. And then you just see, nah, it's not that good that you expect. And I kind of come to this stage where I was like, basically my only plan or my only what's called responsibility is to share it with the world. I kind of feel that whatever I had in myself, I just have to share it and put it online. And I believe that people that needs to see it, they're gonna find it. Because I know myself, I search through web all the time. I search for inspiration, motivation, whatever. And usually it's always like this, whenever I need something, I'll find it. I will come to the right video, I will come to the right book. Like, it's there for me. So I didn't even care about, in the end, I didn't even care about who is watching or how many people is watching. I was just like, okay, it's there. I'm gonna help someone for sure, and I'm not gonna overstress about how many people I'm helping. And especially after I finish, I kind of feel like, when you finish something, you feel like, oh, what's next? Like, what will I do next? But then I was like, okay, whenever I will feel that I need to share something, I will just do it. Otherwise, nothing is a must. Like, I create a channel, I create a webpage and everything, and I share whatever it feels right in the particular moment. If it doesn't, it might be quiet for, 2 weeks, nothing happened. Yeah. And it's okay, because there is, like, I don't feel that there is anything a must for me, like, when it comes to this. Because I realize whenever I try to push something, I try to just do it because it should be there, or I should record a new video. I tried some of them, and it was just like, what is this? What is this? And I just say, I'm not gonna push it. It will come eventually. Yeah. And whenever it will come, I'll just upload it again. Yeah.
I saw the videos, and the things that I thought were really cool is that you have some morning rituals and some habits that I think, like, and it's kind of funny because I was rewatching a couple of them yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, I really have to do these things. Where does it come from? Like, well, actually, first of all, did you change your rituals, your morning rituals?
Yeah, I did.
How does it look like now?
It's different than it was when I recorded the videos. I started meditating. I wasn't able to meditate before, I kind of think I'm not able to do this, because how can I be still and just not think about anything? It's like, for all my life I have thoughts just running and I could not shut them down. And even when I tried to meditate, I never came to this state that I would say, okay, now I am at peace. But yeah, now I start, and it's such a difference. It's such a difference. And it just, I don't know why I started. It just felt right. So I just started, and even when it comes to all the rituals, yeah, that's a funny thing, because I knew I want to be a better person. I didn't know who I want to become. So I was just like trying to get the information from people that are already successful, that already create something big. And I try to incorporate what they are doing into my life. But it's the same thing as it comes to nutrition. Whatever works for them, it doesn't necessarily work for you. So I try a lot of things, and some of the things like didn't work for me, and some of the things work for me. So it's basically, and what is also a specialty for me is that I kind of like to add my own spices to everything. So even though if I have a ritual, probably it's not going to be totally the same every morning. It's like I'm going to do something differently. So yeah, I remember back then it was, I just tried to be grateful for things. I make a note for myself, like to say what I'm grateful for. And it was kind of, I kind of push it, like, it was faked. Like, I mean, fake. It didn't come from my heart. It was, I said it because I know I have to be grateful for things in my life. Because once you're grateful, you will attract more. But it's not the same when it's not coming from here. And the thing is, I don't even know when I actually opened my heart. It was like, well, yeah, probably it's connected to, yeah, it's connected to this one. Yeah, it was, yeah, it was, I think it's already a month and a half ago, when I was just, I had so much like troubles on every area. I was just going, yeah, that's only my case, also my case in Toronto. I wasn't really happy. I was more euphoric. Like, I was so excited about things. Everything was going good. No. I was like super happy. And even when I did Ordinary Cookie, a lot of videos are so euphoric that I cannot even watch it now. The energy is not good. It's too much. And because of this euphoria, I just dropped too low. Because, I mean, when you start meditating, you're coming to a peace, and once you're peaceful, you can be happy all the time. But if you're euphoric, then it's too much and you're gonna drop. So I was like dropping and going up and down all the time. And the last time I really dropped was before I did this tattoo after. It was so lame. Like, I don't even know what was going on, but I just feel like the weight of everything fall to my shoulder. I even said something I would never say to my parents. They didn't want to speak with me for 2 days because they were hurt. I said, like, whoever I touched for these few days when I was down, I just hurt them. Like, it was also the colleagues I was working with. It was all the people. And then I just say, okay, what is going on with me? It can't go like this. And at one point I got this like message that I just want to go away from everything and everywhere, just travel somewhere no one knows me. And at that point, when I was like kind of feeling that it's gonna be okay, and I kind of felt that what I was lacking is love. And basically it was self-love, because my problem was that I always gave other people responsibility to fill my heart. So, okay, I have this person that have to give me love, and if he's not giving me love, then I'm not happy. And I have my parents that have to give me love and all this stuff. And at that point, no one gives me love. So I was just like down, as low as I can be. And at that point, the only thing that feels right was just like hug myself and just say, okay, Taja, I love you. You have me. If you don't have anyone else, you have me. And that's where I start like my journey up again. And at that point, I realized, also with the help of my best friend from Slovenia, she said to me, she sent me a link. And when I was reading this, like it was something from The Secret. And when I read the sentence, happiness is your choice. You can choose every day that you're gonna be happy. I was just like, my whole body was just like, oh my God, that is it. Like, I was just, it's all about choosing how you're gonna respond on whatever happens to your life. It's about choosing if you're gonna feel love or not, if you're gonna feel yourself with love and then share it with the world. You choose if you're gonna have an open heart. You choose if you're gonna judge people, if you're gonna do anything bad to them. It's all your choice. And even though after I said this to my mom, she said, I can't believe I told you, like, you have to read the book. It was a power of choice or something like this. Yeah, and she said to me, I told you have to read this book like 5 years ago, and now you're telling me this. I told you like 100 times in life that you can choose how you want to be or whatever. And I say, I never get it. I never get it until it was like it came from inside in, and I just felt it, and it was just like the right thing to do. So after that, I got my tattoo. It's Happiness is a Choice. I wanted a reminder from Toronto, and after this point, it was like I really choose to be happy, and whatever was not working in my life, just move away from me. And I start attracting more and more people that has this kind of the same way of thinking. So I attract people with higher energy. I attract people that only give me happiness and love. And even I saw the difference, like when I was on subway or anywhere, because I feel happy and I was smiling most of the time, and I kind of share love whenever I go. I receive so much. It's like even from a stranger, like it's funny, like really funny. But the whole world is a perception of what is going on in yourself. It's like when I realized that it's always gonna be what I'm having here, it's always gonna be reflected in everything around. So if I see that there is a bad world and all the bad things are happening, it's probably because I choose to see them. Like, that was a funny thing. I have to tell you this. My father came to visit me, and he came with a Slovenian energy, or how would I say? And the funny thing was that we had the same days. Like, we were walking everywhere together. Except my days were super happy, and his days were like, the weather was not good, and there was a traffic, and there was this and this and this. And I said to him, like, I didn't even notice half of the things you're pointing at. Like, I didn't get it. I just see something positive in everything. And he was always like, oh, look, there is an accident. What is going on there? And I just saw a man there smiling, and it was like, no, just change your direction. Look at him. He's happy. But yeah, that's a point where I realized it's all about how you see the world. It's
two sides of the same coin. It's kind of funny because it reminded me of a cartoon that I saw. It was these two cartoon guys that were, I think, in a train, and one of them were looking at one side of the train in the window, and it was like a landscape and the sunshine and all these type of thing, and the other one was looking straight at a really dark mountain when you couldn't see anything. And it's like they're writing the same, so it's the same, but you actually saw it in real life. That is really, really cool.
It's really cool.
Nice. So meditation is something that you got from like all your. So you meditate like every morning?
Yeah, I usually do every morning and every evening.
Nice.
Yeah.
And anything else that you do? Because I remember that you had this thing that I thought was really cool, where you were writing yourself like a good morning message and a good night message.
I still do, but I basically I'm writing down everything that kind of feel right to write it. So I have my journal. I write almost every morning. I also try to write whatever I want to work in this particular day, because I realize it's helping me a lot, because otherwise I lose focus. Like, even though you might have a lot of potential, if you're not really focusing on something particular in that day, you will lose it. You will just wondering,
Yeah.
you're not gonna do anything. So it really helps me when I decided to do, or maybe it can maybe just be one thing, or sometimes I put 3, depends on which day I have. Yes, I still do this, and even every evening before I go to bed, I hug myself, and I tell myself that I love me. And I tell for all the, I just say whatever I'm grateful for. Because it's, I don't know, but in the last month I was just happy about so many things. I never really realized like a small things that can make a life happier. So I started being grateful for all the small things, not just a big one, like, because we always say like something really big, but I realized like the smallest thing can make me happy. So I do this, and the good thing I do, I didn't even realize I'm doing it, but whenever there is something that I have in my mind that just don't want to go away, I write it down, and if I don't have a paper, I write it on my cell phone. And it's so good if you, like, sometimes you just have this, you write down something that you don't know what it means. And then in the future you will have this, I don't know, like a vision, and you will go back, I think I wrote something about it, and you will go and you'll see, oh yeah, that's it. It's like, it's super good if you just keep on writing whatever comes to your mind.
All the insights
and ideas. And the thing I also start to do is I start to trust the fate. I never did it before. I was always interrupting, like big time. I always wanted to know where I'm going. I wanted to control everything. Like, I wanted to be like this. And if I don't know where I'm heading, it's like, no go, please tell me where I'm going. And I wasn't able to trust the process because of all this stuff. Like, if you try to control everything, it's so frustrating, and because it never goes the way you plan it. And I just learned, like, this week taught me so much. Because this week was like, especially whatever I planned, it didn't go the way I planned it. So the message of this week is, please stop planning, stop expecting anything. And the funny thing was that for the first time in my life, I was actually able to say, as soon as something happened, like that it wasn't on my plan, I was able to say, okay, let's go with this one. It's fine. I didn't even stress, not even for a minute. Nice. Whatever came, it was just like, okay, I will go in this direction. So, and I start asking for clear science and clear hints of where I should go. Because I believe that we are guided. Like, we are guided where we have to go, but we often don't see the sign. So for example, I remember that a lot of times, like, I had some kind of like someone slapped me, like, don't go in this direction, just go the other one. And I was like, no, I will still go here. And someone slapped me even more. So you kind of keep being slapped before you get it, like, oh no, I have to turn. So now, because I don't want to be slapped so many times, I just say, please make it clear the first time, and I want to get it. Yeah. And I became aware of all the small things that the university tried to tell me. And it's working. Like, if you ask university, please give me something clear, or if something happens to you and you say, oh my God, I don't understand, please make it clearer. At the next hour, you will get the message, probably. It's like, yeah.
So it's not something that you used to do before?
No. It was like, it was so different. I kind of feel like I'm in new life now. Nice. It's, Oh, I was so captured into my mind and just thinking. When you say, like, the funny thing is today I was writing my blog for the last one for Thank You Toronto.
Yeah.
And it was so funny, whatever I wrote, like what I have learned, it was like going back 3 years and opening my books that I used to write quotes in, and probably all the quotes would be there. Like I already, like 3 years ago, I already knew what I want. Like I want to be happy, I want to be this, you have to have, don't stress about the things and just let it go. It was, everything was there, but I never get it. Like it's so funny, like even now, when I kind of realize that even if I try to give lecture to someone and I see that they're not getting it, I just say, okay, it's not your timing yet. Because I knew I was there. I didn't have my timing for so long. At one point, it just all clicks. It's like you get kind of you just know things.
Yeah.
And that's a different, I believe that once things are coming from inside, you just know them. It's not something you have to prove or you have to be sure, or it doesn't need to be logical. It doesn't need to be logical. I just have to feel it here, and
that's it.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, because it's something it's hard to do, because a lot of people, including myself in certain aspect, you know what you're supposed to do, you know what's right, you know the whole gratitude things and all these. So people kind of do it like mechanically almost, but until you feel it, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I did it mechanically also, like a lot of times. But I kind of believe it's a process. You keep on doing it until it all click. Like, and even now, like I believe it's not gonna be just okay. Now I'm happy for the rest of my life. It's not like this. I get it, but I just know that I was able to come to the next stage. And I know I have a lot of things to improve still. I have a lot of things to learn and everything. But just the step that I make in this 30 days, whatever, 6 months, it was like, it's so huge. Like, I really feel it's huge.
Yeah. Do you think before, because you're talking about like you had like euphorias and highs and lows, is this something that you had before coming here as well, like before moving, still back in Slovenia as well, or?
Probably I did, but I had a more lower. Yeah, okay. When I was in, when I studied biochemistry in Slovenia, I didn't have a lot of euphoria, but I have a lot of depression. I was kind of addicted to problems, I could say that, because I just created a problem when it wasn't really there. I always, like since my high school, I always wrote, I had a planner, and in all the planners I wrote quotes and whatever. I realized I did this for, I don't know, now probably 8 years or something like this. So it's always funny to go back, and a lot of times I see like all the quotes or anything were from lyrics from songs that were like really depressing. And I just like, if I didn't have a problem, then I just keep on crying from a guy that will dump me like a year ago or something. Or it was just, I create a problem. It's like, no problems, okay, I'll select one and I'll cry for this one. It's like, it was so addicted. And I just, in the last year when I had in Slovenia, I was just like, please, can I go to Denmark, please, please, please. I just felt like I have to go. I feel like a bird that was captured in a cave. Like, I couldn't be myself. That was basically a thing. I wasn't myself. And my mom, she always said to me, like, I didn't know what to do with you, because I had to study hard for biochemistry. It was really a hard one. So I was often like, my mood was changing all the time. So at one point I'm like super happy, and the next point I'm just like crying and just like, oh my god, I cannot do this, I'm so dumb, no one likes me, and my mom just didn't know whether she should like slap me, just get yourself together and do something, or she should hug me. And she keep on saying like, I didn't know what to do with you. It's like you were so, on the one hand I was always positive, like I always tried to look, if I met with someone or if I was there to have a coffee with them, I was always optimistic about everything. Like, but when it comes to being with myself only, I was sad. I choose to be sad. Basically, I choose to be sad. And then when I went to Denmark, it started getting better, and I also started working on myself like really hard, because I was there alone. But the thing I missed in Denmark was social gathering, because I don't speak Danish, and it's hard to get Danish friends. And I didn't have a lot of international friends. And I also had a lot of health problems. I was just like, that was the time when I was healing myself with food, and I just didn't know what to do, and it was just collapsing all the time. So yeah, in Denmark I was actually ill every month. I had a cold or a fever or something. I wrote down whenever I was ill, and it was basically, I knew I'm going to be ill between 15 and 20 of the month. It was always in this time. Wow. It was so crazy. And my immune system was so low. And then I remember in January 2015, I was like so ill. I had high fever for 7 days in a row. Oh, wow. And I was in Denmark alone, and I didn't have roommates. No one cooked for me, no one washed my clothes, no one went to grocery. I was just like, it was so hard. Like, that was really like the toughest week probably of my life. And I should do the assignment at this point, because it was exam period. But I kind of felt that was a reset of my body. I was sweating because of the high fever, and I probably lose a lot of toxins. And even after I was able to overcome it, I felt like so lighter. And after this time in January, I just got a small cold in March, and that's it. Until March 2015, till today, I didn't have anything, like not even a slightly cold. But it's connected to everything. It's not just about it's about food, it's about being active, it's about my mentality, because that's also a thing that has changed. Like, before that, when I try to heal myself with food, it's really hard to heal yourself with food if you're stressed. It's almost impossible. Like, the stress will damage so much that it's hard to just cover everything with good nutrition. So I kind of, in Denmark, I took aspects of eating right and training, but I didn't work on my stress and my mental health. Yeah. So that's why I started working here in Toronto. I mean, I worked on this before, but I wasn't able to come to the stage where I would say, okay, now I'm really happy, or now I really don't stress about anything. Yes. I wasn't able to come there. But after you combine all these three together, it's magic. It's like so easier.
That's really cool. So it's almost like 3 stages. So you started in Slovenia with the science of it. Then you came to Denmark and got the physical part of it. Mm-hmm. And then you came to Toronto to do the mental part of it. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
That's a good one. I never thought about it, but
really interesting. Yeah. Very cool. Nice. So what were the, like, here in Toronto, what were the thing that you will take away with you?
There's a lot of things I would take away. It's I love the kindness and openness of the people. Like, that was a funny thing. I came from Slovenia, or I came from Denmark, where people are so super cold, to Canada. And in the beginning, I have to confess, like, when I come to a store and they say, "Hey, how are you?" I was just like, "I'm fine," because I just freeze. I didn't know what to say back. It was like so awkward. Like, no one actually asked me how I am. So, but it was so good. Like when I just release like everything, and I just became like one of you. Like, "Hey, how are you?" It's just like smiling all the time. And I never felt lonely in Canada, because even if you feel like, "Oh, I don't have anyone to go on a coffee with," you can go in a shopping mall, and at least someone will want to talk with you, at least someone will want to sell something to you, so they will be super polite, and you can kind of start a conversation. It's so easy to start a conversation here. So I want to take this to Slovenia. It's like, it's so simple to say to someone, "Hey, how are you?" and smile. It's so simple, and you can change people like day.
Yeah, oh yeah, easy.
Easy. Like even sometimes when I had kind of a bad day here, I just came on a bus, and the bus driver were like, "Hey, good morning," and I was like, "Okay, it's gonna be good. It's better already." Because you see someone is smiling at you, and it's immediately is better.
Little things.
Yeah, and even my father said, like, he said that he went in a shop, and we said we're gonna meet, so he was a bit late, and it was a queue for to pay the bill, and he come to the cashier, and she started, "Hey, how was your experience today?" And he said, "Good." He's just, that's it. And then he said, she asked him like, "Where are you coming from?" And he said, "From Slovenia." "And what are you doing here?" And he said, like, "She just want to speak with me, like all this stuff and this and this and this." And I said, "Come on, hurry, like it's like I have to go." And then she makes some jokes and everything. And he said, "Well, actually," then I start laughing also, and I felt better. Yes. Like I didn't feel that pressure of being in a hurry. Mm-hmm. And I say, "You see, it's like that's what happens to you if you're here. You in the beginning you're so tightened up because that's how we are. Mm-hmm. But after some time you just release it and you just become as one of them. Mm-hmm. Because life is so much easier if we are relaxed and we just chat with each other. Why not?"
Kind of be yourself.
Yes.
I wonder if that's part of, I don't know if it's part of the culture, but like if most people are like that in Slovenia, so then they keep themselves from being their true self all the time.
Yeah, for sure, because people in Slovenia judge huge time, big time. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem, and I mean it's getting better. I believe it's getting better, but still the negativity is there, and even the people that we hang out with from Slovenia here, mm-hmm. Some of them already left back. Mm-hmm. And we Skyped, and they say, like, just get ready. Like, just get ready, because the negativity is everywhere. Like, people love to complain. They love to see the negative things mm-hmm. in all the stuff. But it shouldn't be like this, and I believe it's our job, that like from people that are outside the country, and that we realize that life can be so much easier and so much more fun. I think it's kind of our responsibility to also try to put this energy back to Slovenia and try to help other people realize that they can be good and smiling, and in the end it's all about like mirroring, you know. You're gonna mirror my mood. So if I come to Slovenia with this kind of mood, I believe no one will be rude to me, because they cannot be. So it all starts with ourselves. So what I want to take with me to Slovenia is definitely the mood and this kind of kindness from here. I know it's not gonna be like super simple. It might be challenging from time to time, but I know for myself I will travel a lot. So I will go like in another country to recharge and then come to Slovenia to make them charge again. So yeah, but the funny thing is that most of the Slovenians that realize that that go into the different country, they stay there because they realize it's easier. And yeah, I completely agree. It's so much easier probably to be successful here and to work here and have a better life here. But on one point, I'm also like, that's selfish. I mean, I shouldn't say this loud because maybe I will do this also. But it is kind of a selfish thing that you just escape from Slovenia because it's easier for you to be outside. I kind of believe that you have to balance, like you can go outside and do whatever you want, but still it's your country. Just try to give something back. And that's why also my next plan for Slovenia is I kind of believe that we don't have enough gathering for women. I realize it's actually hard to have a good friend, like as a woman, to have a good women friend, because I don't know why, but we love to be jealous or something. I don't know, and especially when it comes to successful women, like the people that women that wants to work on themselves, that work on so many aspects in life that they are usually super busy and they don't have time to go on a coffee where you just debate about other women, about other men, and about what is going on, this and this and this. I miss this kind of conversations, like we have it in Toronto. Like you have a deep conversation about life, about whatever you want to accomplish in life, and just try to encourage each other to be the best version you can be. And I feel that I have to do something for Slovenian women. Probably men need it also, but I have this calling for women, so I want to start with them. I don't know exactly what I want to work, but I said I will start with just...
Sorry, little interruption. Normally nobody should go there, but this is Toronto Real. Something
is real. So I will start with inviting together all the women that I knew that are powerful and that I feel that we can connect very good together, and start doing the kind of gathering we have for Toronto Real. Just go together on a dinner and discuss whatever comes on our mind. And try to do this every month so that we kind of get more connected and that more women join us. And my plan for a future, I don't know if it's going to be October, like I said, but my plan for a future is that I would also like to do a big event for women in Slovenia that would basically take care about all the aspects of our life, not just about, also about nutrition, about being active, about spirituality, about relationships, and to have this kind of event where we can just be who we are without pretending, without judging each other, and just help each other to be pure, authentic self. So that's what I want to work.
Really cool. Yeah. It's almost as if you've experienced the growth and the process of, like, I remember you talking about it's like a bird that cannot fly because you couldn't be yourself, and then you finally figure out a way to do it. And then now going back to Slovenia, because there's probably a lot of women that are living the same thing, kind of like allowing them to be themselves. Yeah.
I mean, I realized that that's the whole thing. It's like we are on this planet to be happy. Like, why would, if it wouldn't feel that good to be happy, then probably, or if it if it would feel so good to be sad, probably that's what we have to be. But it feels bad to be sad. Like you feel that something, you feel a pain, that something is not good. So whenever you have this feeling that something is not good, it's because your body wants to tell you, that's not for you, that's not why you're here. Just go away and go to happiness, because that's where you have to be. And I'm tired of this, like pretending to be someone you're not, and try to make people like you, because that's the worst thing we ever did. Like, as soon as you start like thinking about what other people thought about you, and you try to do something that they will like you, you kind of corrupt yourself. You make a disaster.
And it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. It's opposite. Like even it's so funny. Like even when you look on people that we admire and that we love, like they're all crazy a little bit. They're all a bit different. No one is like, for example, I really like Jennifer Lawrence. She's super crazy all the time. Like she would just say whatever comes to her mind, and all the people love her. And she's just pure, authentic herself. And on the other hand, you have some of the celebrities that just want to be perfect all the time, and they are not really attracting a lot of people, or they are, but not someone like me.
And they might not necessarily be happy.
Yeah, that's
one thing.
Exactly the case.
Yeah,
That's exactly the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing we can point out. It's I was always my whole life in kind of waiting to come to a stage where I can be happy. So that means in Slovenia I was just like, can I please go to Denmark? I was like really hoping to go as soon as possible. Then I came to Denmark and it was okay for the beginning, but then when it comes to the end, I was just like, can I please go somewhere else? It's not okay here. I don't feel so good. So then I got this opportunity for Canada, and while I was in Slovenia, I was like, oh, can I go to Canada now, please? And all the time I was just like waiting for something. And as long as you're waiting for something, craving for something, you cannot be happy, because you just go in the future. You're never present. You don't enjoy the moment because you have to think about what's going to be there and how you're going to feel. And the funny thing is, as soon as you come to this point, you start thinking further. Like you go in the future again. So basically, you are never in this moment, and we are just like missing our life for planning for a future or for crying for past, but not being here. And that, like, yeah, basically that was my life before. I cry for past, or I was waiting for a future. And when it comes to celebrities, like you can easily point out who get it and who don't. Like you can easily. And usually people that don't get it, they end up on drugs because you're craving something, you're missing something. And first you're missing, like, you don't feel accepted because maybe you don't earn enough, and maybe not enough people knows you, and maybe you don't have a good opportunity to work on whatever you want to work. And once you accomplish all this stuff, and all the people knows you, all the people like you, you have enough money, you have a job, you have a career, you have everything, maybe you have even a family, it's like everything is there, it's still missing, something is still missing. And then they usually go into drugs because,
to escape.
Yeah. But that's the kind of things I told you, like euphoria. It's like you're waiting for something, and then you get euphoric, you got it, and then you drop again, and you feel, I need euphoria again. So you kind of go up and down. And like my best friend told me, like she always pointed out, like, now you're euphoric, please stop it. I don't want your euphoric energy, it's not good for me. And I was like, I'm not euphoric. And then if I go back to read my messages, like a few days later, I was like, that's super euphoric. And she always said to me, like, you're gonna drop after. And the thing is, if you keep on going to euphoria and then drop, and then if euphoria doesn't occur for so long, you gain depression. Because only euphoria keeps you up. So, yeah, so I was, I mean, I wouldn't say for myself that I was really depressed when, like, before Denmark, but it was kind of addictive sadness. Maybe it was depression, but I don't want to confess. Like, no, I wasn't depressed, never in my life.
But there was it seems like some sign of something in the same kind of like family. And it's not unique, like a lot of people go through these like ups and downs and stuff like that. But it's interesting that I never thought about it as being like, because of the fact that you're never really happy, but you have moments of euphoria. And then it's just like highs and lows and highs. And it's the same thing with people that are using drugs. I mean, it's a euphoria for a while, and then you have the down, and then when you have to do it again. And it's just like, but you're never
seen. I think you can be stable only if you're relaxed, if you're in this particular moment. And that's when it comes to like connected to yourself. Like, for me now it feels just so good to be alone. But before it wasn't. Like in Denmark, I wasn't okay with being alone. I was kind of okay because I can be comfortable and I cannot do anything else. But that's not the case when you're okay being alone. That's the case when you watch too much movies, or you watch series, or you just do whatever so the time passed. And that's not a case when you're good being alone. That's when you're good being alone because no one sees that you're lazy. But when you're good at being alone and you're actually productive, you do something for yourself, you treat yourself good. That's a whole nother level. Yeah.
That's something that it's kind of funny you said that, but it's something that it's been in the back of my mind every so often. It's like, I have no problems being alone. And every so often it's like, okay, without the movies, without this, just like journaling, can you kind of like stop thinking about everything and just sit down and just do something for yourself? That's a difference that you have to look into.
Yeah, the good thing is like, that's what I started in Denmark. And I kind of start practicing now also. In Denmark, when I come to Denmark, I say, okay, now it's my time to improve myself and do anything. So in the first week I came there, I set my alarm at 5 a.m. I was like, okay, I at that point I was listening to Robin Sharma all the time, and he always say like you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and then do the routine, like first exercise, and then you have reading, and just planning for a day. And then you have like education, you do some kind of stuff. So I started doing this in Denmark until I got ill. So it lasts for like 20 days, and then I got ill. Yeah. And after I got better. I was just like, The funny thing in Denmark was that I didn't have a lot of lectures. So I wake up at 5, and I could be at home till 10. So it was like too much time. So I wake up at 5 and then I do something and do all this stuff. And at 8 I fall asleep and for 1 hour. And then so it wasn't really working. But this month my friend from Slovenia started doing this. And she said, you should start doing it too. And I said, okay, that's good. Because here I'm waking up at 6. So it doesn't matter like 1 hour difference. So I just set my alarm for 5 o'clock again, just to have this additional hour for me. And it's super good. That's really super good. Like, just to connect with yourself. I mean, I started with meditation, not with training anymore. I started with meditation, and then I just sit down and write. And it's so good because that's also the second thing. Like, when I meditate, I kind of know what I'm craving for real. Like, I believe we have an ego wish. Like, I want a new car, I want a new phone, I want to be rich and famous. Rich and famous and everything. And then you have this kind of a heart wish, like something that really makes you happy and make you fulfilled. And whenever I do, like even now, whenever I write a goal for the next goal, I'm not allowed to write a goal if I didn't meditate before. Because if I meditate before making a goal and making a wish, during this meditation I kind of know whether it's coming from within or it's just like... And sometimes I just, even some of the goals I wrote in the book that we went through together, some of them I just crushed. Like, no, they're not the real one. It was the ego wish. So, but on the other hand, it's like when your heart is craving something, it's like, I don't know, while I'm meditating, I kind of feel it, like, I kind of feel that it's really this thing that I need.
Nice. Yeah. So a lot of people recommend meditating. A lot of successful people actually recommend meditating and kind of like starting from that. And I remember, I think it was Peter Sage, one of his motivational speaker, coach type lifestyle coach, and he was saying that meditation is basically like, you know, like when you have water and it keeps moving around and it's very muddy, you can't really see through. But when you meditate, you kind of allow the water to calm down and you can actually see through what you're supposed to be seeing. And it's kind of like parallel of that in life, I think. I was like, that gives a good reason to start. Because otherwise it's like all the thoughts and everything that's kind of going on. Is kind of like,
yeah, it is kind of like this. You kind of feel, you can see what's going inside, like you can go deeper.
Yeah.
And even whenever you meditate, you can go deeper. Or there comes a time, of course, like even for myself, when even if I repeat it every day, there comes a day when I'm just like, I cannot like go away from my mind. It's so hard, and I cannot come to this stage when I would say, okay, I'm really happy, I'm fulfilled. But on the other hand, it's just like, okay, it's just another day like this. It's gonna pass. It's not something, like even I remember when I started meditating, sometimes you don't gain what they want you to gain. Like they promise you, or you read a lot of things about meditation, and they promise you, you're gonna find this and this and this, and no, sometimes it's not like this. But that doesn't mean it's not working for you. It just doesn't mean you're not there yet. So I would just suggest to go for it and just try it more. Because whenever you try it, you can go deeper. Yeah, and I want to go on this, like we talk about, 10 days meditation in silence. Yeah.
Yes, apparently they're all over the world.
Yeah, there are.
There might be something.
Yeah, there are some in Europe, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, definitely.
To see what's going on. I mean, I've heard people. For some people, it's easy. For some people, it's just hard to be alone with their thoughts. So they like it's. I remember Mimi Icon when she talked about the first time she went there. She was like, I had to leave. Like it was not. Then afterwards, she kind of did it again. So something to look into.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely have to be challenging for her and anyone probably. Nice. It feels a good thing to do, like in the future maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. One of my goals were actually, I wrote down that I want to move to England till the end of the year. I don't know where this goal is coming from, but yeah, I just feel that I have to go somewhere else also. And I'm attracted to England because I used to teach skiing the English students. And they're so nice. I just love. They're so kind and polite, and like even in Canada, everything is sorry. Yeah. So now I'm used to it. But before that, like I used to teach Slovenian kids, and they never say like thank you or sorry, or they're just crazy. And then I went to Austria and I teach these English students, and they were like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to fall. And I said, no, it's okay. No, I really didn't mean to fall. And I was like, it's not your fault. It's okay. It's so lovely, really. And I kind of feel like that's how I see English people, like polite and generous. So something is trying to get me there. But I don't know what, and I promised myself that this time I'm not going and I'm not moving anywhere if I don't find a source of money there. Because currently I'm traveling as a student. So before Denmark, I kind of thought that I have a lot of money I was earning money, and I thought it's going to be enough for 1 year, but it lasts for around 7 months or something in Denmark, because Denmark is super expensive. And then I run out of money, and of course my parents have to help me. In this summer, I was working hard again to earn money for Toronto, because I cannot work here. I'm without visa or anything. So I again earned money, but it was only for half of the trip. So again, my parents helped me. And that was also a challenge for me, because before that I was able to buy anything I want. I had my own money. And then I have to come back to my parents helping me. And it was something that my ego just didn't want to accept. And even I felt bad, guilty. I felt guilty. Like I'm taking your money for enjoying and just being here, and when instead I could just be in Slovenia and not do anything. But on the other hand, it's like they always say to me, like, it will pay off, like it's not a big deal. But I also had to overcome this. Like, it was a bit a problem, like inside of me, like an ego problem, that they have to take care about me. But still, on the other hand, I'm 23, so it's like a lot of people at 23 still live at their parents' place, and they have to take care about them. So it's like, okay, I'm fine. It's gonna be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's an investment too in yourself when you think about it, because you keep growing every time you go from. That's the beauty of traveling. No matter what, you go from one place to the other, and you're growing, you're changing, you gain new skills that you can bring to the next level.
I remember the quote from Kiyosaki. He said, like, you can never. You can always earn more money, but you can never earn more experience. So I was just like, whenever I was here and I had this kind of I shouldn't spend more money, I was just like, oh, come on, you will earn enough eventually. But I just have to come to this stage. Like I never really, I kind of believe I was held back when it comes to money. I didn't saw myself earning yet. So that's why I didn't even work on it. Like whenever I tried, it was something that I just said, no, it's not gonna work. It's just like, no. And after these 6 months in Toronto, I kind of feel that I have done a lot of things on myself, that this Toronto was all about like coming back to who I am. And now I feel strong enough to go towards my success in career and money and all this stuff. Yeah, it have to come. Like,
you still have time, and also like time to figure out in a way to go, so that you can go in a way that kind of fulfills who you are, as opposed to just like filling all the box and then go back to not being happy again, which doesn't work. So do you even have an idea of where you want to take it next, or are you kind of just going with the flow?
Pretty much I'm going with the flow. But yes, I realize I feel so good when I help people. Like it's really, it's so good. And I'm not sure if I want to help like a lot of people at the same time, like having a conference or something like this, or if I want to help individuals, because I kind of believe that it's so much more powerful when you focus on individual, because when it comes to nutrition, if you take care about them, like what they actually need, I believe that when it comes to nutrition, all the informations you need to have a healthy body or informations about what is healthy and what is not. Everything is available. You just Google it. You will find you should eat vegetables. You shouldn't eat junk food. You'll find these main regulations. Yeah. But on the other hand, if you just pick up a diet or something that you find online, it's not necessarily working for you. So, and I'm far from like trying to promote any of the diets, because I kind of believe that it's just like changing the lifestyle. It's not the diet. It's just have to like make a balanced way of eating for yourself, what feels good for you. So yeah, I want to help them, but I don't know in which area. It's like probably it's gonna be a combination, because I feel that one of my gifts, or I don't know how to call them, maybe gifts, is that I can easily spot out what is going on with a person, not just what is going on in the body, but also in the mind. Okay. So I kind of feel that I easily know how to help them or how to guide them, or at least I immediately know which book they should read or something like this. And I really want to help them, but all the time that I was trying to help people, it was when no one asked me for help. And that was a huge mistake, because they don't ask me for your help, and then you just try to put all the information you have to them, and you spend so much energy and they are not appreciating it, and they don't even know what you have told them, and no one starts taking your advices. So I would like to help someone that really appreciate my help, that would really feel grateful for me helping. But I don't know exactly what it means. Like, I'm open for anything basically.
It's almost as if it should be somebody or people that are at the stage where they're ready to be able to receive that help, right? Because some people, like, even if you tell them you should do this, you should do that, the ego was going to protect themselves, and like they're just not going to listen. But whoever is ready, is going to be able to.
Whoever is ready gonna come, and everything will be like. I trust the process, like, totally, 100%. I have never trusted. I don't know why. I'm so stupid. It was like, if you look in your past, look, no matter, like, all the people that are watching and all the people everywhere, I think if you look in the past, like, where you were really worrying about something, take a look back and just see that everything was going in the same direction that it should. Everything was perfect. Nothing was wrong. Like, even when you thought or something really, really bad happened to you, and I was like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'm gonna die tomorrow. No, it was something that exactly you need at this particular moment. And just because this happened to you, you came to the stage where you are now. And if you look back in your past, and I look back in mine, and I was like, oh my God, you really know what you're doing, so I'm just gonna let you do the work. So whatever is gonna come, I'm so grateful. Like, no, I'm so happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if we go back to so are you almost done with your master's? Are you going to go back to Slovenia, then back to?
Yeah, this year for my master was basically to finish my master thesis. Okay, cool. So I finished the research part of it. So now I just do the writing, and I will write for 1 month in Slovenia because it's cheaper. I just needed my computer. I just have to write. So I said I'm gonna stay in Slovenia because Denmark is too expensive. Okay. So I would just go to Denmark in the middle of the May. I have to finish my master till the end of May. So I would just go there to finalize it and then to submit it. And then I have a defense in June, and that's it. And defense have to be before my birthday. Nice. I have a birthday on 18th of June, yeah, nice. So it have to be before. Yeah. So then that's it. And then I'm finished with my general education. But yeah, then I will move back to Slovenia, and then I will just... Okay, I know I want to work with... we had already thought about that I can take one aspect of like there is a podcast, Yes Group, you heard about probably. It's from London. It's very... I mean, in England, I know it's very popular, and they brought it to Slovenia also, and they want to... It's basically the same thing as Toronto Real, like to encourage people and to do seminars and all the stuff. So they also want to take care about this nutrition part of living and everything. So I was asked if I can like take care for this nutrition part. So basically that's probably what's gonna be my main focus next, I think. I don't know. I'll see. But I think that as soon as I'll come back to Slovenia, first I will relax a little bit. I'll go to the seaside. I'll just enjoy the summer. Yes. And probably then I will go to England on some rainy days, like just because I miss raining. No, I don't. But it's I always pick up the countries that are either rainy or they are all expensive, and they... Or like in Toronto, there's minus 20. It's like...
It's almost done. We're almost done.
Yeah. Good. No, it's like I always pick the expensive one and the cold one.
Yeah, well, there's something in there besides the cost that I guess you're supposed to learn from or something.
Yeah, there is. Like definitely. I couldn't imagine my life if I wouldn't come here now. I couldn't like...
It's like part of you. It's part of you who you are, even
Yeah.
the tattoo and everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I need to have it.
So what would you say are the main difference between Taja before Toronto, before arriving in Toronto, and Taja having been to Toronto for 6 months and then ready to get to the next journey or adventure that's coming up?
The main difference
Or the most
is-
surprising?
I think it's just about like my way of thinking and my way of not being true to myself. Like that's the hugest difference. Like I wish I had a video of myself before. It's like, no, but I feel like when I was with people, it wasn't that bad. Probably people will still say to me, okay, maybe some of the people will say that I have changed. Like the closest relatives already told me that I have changed completely. But some of the people might see the same. But I knew that I was not able to relax or just to be comfort in a groups that was not really my best group. Like if I was with my family, then I can be childish and I can be whoever I want to be. But if I was in a group where I didn't know someone, I was always a bit like reserved, and I wasn't really true to myself. And all the time I was just thinking. Like that's the main difference. I was thinking about everything. Now I just don't think. Like of course I do think, but it's sometimes I can just say, okay, shut up, and there is peace.
So it's mostly like all the little thoughts in your head that are going through, like what does people think about that?
The main difference is what was going on in my head. Like that's the main difference. I didn't do like even now that I think back, like when I came to Toronto and when I said I want to change, I want to be a better person, I want to improve myself, I didn't know where I'm heading. Like I didn't know what will be the end point. And I would never expect that it felt so good. Like, yeah, but it's so funny because I ask for something. Like I ask to be a better person and to improve myself, but I didn't know what it means. Like, how will I improve myself? Until I realized that basically who I am, it's okay. It's not like improving yourself when it comes to your skills or when it comes to your how do you look, or your body, or your whatever. It's accepting yourself. Like, that's who I am. I'm still working on my better self, of course I am, but that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful or I'm not appreciating who I am now. So I kind of shift from this being ashamed of myself and trying to be someone I'm not, and trying to pretend that to be someone that people will like me, to just be myself. That's the main shift I did, yeah.
It's really cool. So you came with basically that intent, and
yeah, I came with it. Even in Denmark, I went in Denmark for to change myself, because I wasn't satisfied with my life. I feel like something was missing, that I wasn't happy, that something was wrong. I didn't know what it is, and I didn't know how I'm gonna overcome it. But I read a lot of books. I always watch YouTube videos. I always watch already successful people that can guide me somewhere. But I didn't really know. I tried to. Sometimes I was even stick, like whatever they say you have to do, I just do like this. But here in Toronto, I made this change that I didn't do what they say I should, but I just did what I feel is good for me. So I wasn't so obsessed with everything being perfect. And I think that's a huge disease you can have if you try to do things perfectly or just try to make things perfect. It's like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's just forget about it. With the perfection, you can destroy everything in your life. Because then that's the funny thing. I also realized this when I was recording videos. Like, trying to make things perfect, you will even destroy them. Because I record my video and I watch it and I was like, oh, what is this? Come on. And I say, okay, I'm gonna repeat it, but the message was good, so I want to repeat the same things I was saying. So then I was just like, no, and it was all faked. I was like, no, it's even worse. And I try again and again and again. And then I was like, no, fuck it. It's like, you cannot do this. You cannot repeat it. It's just, and since then I just upload the first video that I did. It's like, it's also part of this overcoming the fear of what people thought about you.
Absolutely. There's so much good info or insight, not even info, that comes out of that whole idea of, like when you're telling me this, I'm like, so you came up with the intent that you wanted to become a better person because you thought that the person that you were was not good enough.
Yes.
And then you realized that you are good exactly the way that you are. This is amazing.
That's amazing. I never thought about it actually, but it is actually exactly this way. Yeah. Because, I always, even when it comes to nutrition, like I have a background from biochemistry, so I know the reactions that are going on. And then I was studying molecular nutrition, which is also like a pretty good one. And still, I was like, I'm not really finished. I don't really know a lot of things. How can I charge people? And I feel like I'm not good enough. But on the other hand, whenever I follow the nutritionist and everything, I can easily see that I have more knowledge than some of them. And I was always like, okay, I have to improve in this area and this area. And when I will do this, I will be able to do this. It's like, no, I'm good as I am. Like in every spectrum. Like I will always try to do my best. Of course, I have to do this. But that doesn't mean that my best today is not good enough. It's like, okay, maybe my best after 1 month will be so much better than I am today. That's good, that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. But that doesn't mean it's not good enough today. And that's also a huge thing that I realized here. Yeah. It's like I was just craving for improving myself in so many areas, when instead it's like, I'm not that bad, come on.
you're not bad at all. You're good. Like everybody's got that essence of being good. Doesn't mean that you can't improve in certain area, but like you said, right? It's good enough, but in a good way, not just good enough, whatever. But it's good enough in a good way that you don't need to keep trying to add to something that's already there, type thing. Like not taking into consideration what's already there and useful and stuff like that. And it's the same, I guess, into the nutrition thing.
Yeah.
So instead of like chasing this and that and that and that, you can actually even start now and be like, yeah. I have the knowledge, I understand how this works, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that can be helped with that.
It is.
So cool. Wow.
So many things to, like, even when I started in gym here in Good Life, I received their book, and the saying of this guy that started the Good Life Fitnesses is good enough is good enough. And I read this book, and it was like, actually it is, like sometimes even when it comes to trainings, like I didn't do my best. I know I can do better. But on the other hand, like at least I tried, okay? At least I do something. So it's like we often think that whenever aspect in life we want to change, it's often connected to health, or it's connected to whatever, business or anything. Whatever the improvement you do, it's good enough. It's okay. You have to be like grateful for it. Yeah. And the one thing I hope I learned, I mean, currently I feel I learned, but maybe it will collapse again, is to have patience. Like to not be so impatient about things that have to happen today. Yeah. Like, because no matter what you are trying to reach, you always feel like, oh, it have to come in 1 week or in 1 month, or it should be there already. Guilty. Because I kind of believe that if you what was the thing like we talked about before? It was that if you keep on, like if you get everything you want at this particular moment, or everything that you plan would happen like as soon as you want it to happen, it will usually be super euphoric. At least I believe. It's like if you're gaining things, even when it comes to your health, when it comes to your like spirituality and how you're awakened and everything, if you're going step by step, then you can make a lasting change. If you do something dramatically, your body cannot actually adjust, because our body will always try to make a balance. So if you make a huge change, like in a short period of time, your body will be like, no, let's go back to balance, like, please. So you have to kind of make your body do the small steps every day, so that your body don't even know that anything has changed, so that it doesn't start adjusting for something else. Because as soon as the adjustment starts, you will go back at the same point. That's why diets are not working. Because you cannot eat like, I don't know, 1,000 calories per day for 1 month and then just lose some weight, and after that you think it's gonna last forever. There's no way. It will just
right back.
Yeah.
Right back.
So being patient, that's also a good one.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel patient.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just a particular state.
I think I wonder, for me, I noticed that it's in stages. Like I remember thinking that I was patient, and then I got a dog, and then I had to work at home with a dog, and then I realized that I wasn't as patient as I thought I was. So I got to another level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always like, I also believe this, like even when you come to a stage of being happy, okay, you're happy at this stage, but then it will come a bigger challenge, and after this challenge it will come a greater happiness, but you will have to come to this happiness again. And it's probably the same with everything, and that's a part of a journey. It's like, even though I feel I'm happy right now, I know that there are coming a lot of challenges. Like, I'm gonna change my life completely after tomorrow when I fly back. It's gonna be like tremendous change because I go back to my parents' place. So yeah, I know I'm gonna be lazy for 2 days because they will cook for me and they'll do anything. But the third day is gonna be, Taja, can you please cook for us? Can you please wash the dishes? Can you please do this? Where are you going? I don't have my car anymore because we sell it before I went to Canada. So I was just like, can I borrow your car? Where are you going now? Who's gonna pay for gas? I just know that it's gonna be like all the things will change. Like now I was living alone, like totally alone. So no one really bothers when I come back. It was, I was far from a center. So basically I left early in the morning. And then after work, we usually grab a coffee or something. So I come back very late. And I wasn't at home at all, like, except the weekends. But now everything will be. But I'll have 2 additional hours every day because I'm not gonna spend it on subway. So that's a lot.
You can do a lot with that for sure.
Yeah.
Have you? So that means there's going to be new challenges going back. Have you, like, prepared for them to be able to stay in that state?
That's a very good question. My plan previous week was that this week I will prepare myself for going back. I said to myself, I'm gonna meditate as much as I can. I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna put my mind in the right direction. I'm gonna make a good mindset. Everything will be perfect. I'm gonna train a lot. I'm gonna eat healthy. Everything. And it started. And then it started like I got a visitor from France, and he came for 5 days. And I didn't even thought about like saying no to him because I knew he's gonna interrupt my days. But I was like, yeah, I haven't seen you for so long. Of course you can come. And then of course he came, and I still meditate in the morning. But we came back every day so late that I didn't meditate in the evening. I skipped training for a couple of times. We went eating out a couple of times. We eat sweets and desserts and everything. And then it was on Wednesday. My heaters were off. Like it just stopped working, and it was minus. I don't know. It was minus. I don't know 2 or something. And since I live in a very old house with such a bad windows, like the heat was like, I think I got to 14 degrees in the second day already. And now it's 12. It's still not working. Yes, this happened. And I was just like, I couldn't be at my home. Like, I cannot be. Because everything, even whatever I touch, is so cold. And the only thing I can do at my place is just be under the, under the blanket and just be warm. So basically, everything this week was not as planned. But on the other hand, I feel that that's what makes me even stronger to go back. Because I realized that I should not plan anything. And even though nothing went as it should, I was able to just accept everything. Like, even when the heaters was off, I was laughing. Like, I was just like, that's so funny. And it was funny for 2 days, but the second day, the second day I was so cold. I was just like, but then I just grabbed all my stuff and I went to a friend's place and I just stand there. It was still okay. Like, I just adjust for everything. And I kind of feel that, yes, that this week has made me even stronger to go back. And previous weekend, I was so sad that I have to go back. I was so worried. And I was afraid, I have to admit. And I do believe, like, fear is the opposite of love. So when I feel that I'm afraid, in previous weekend, I was like, no, that's lacking of love. So I just started like giving more love to myself again, and I practice this for all the week, and I don't feel afraid at all. I'm actually pretty happy to go back because I can't wait to see my family and friends. So it's since I'm not afraid anymore, it just feels like I'm so strong to go back. Yeah.
It's really cool because I find it interesting the parallel that you were scared coming here.
Yeah.
And now scared coming
that
back.
was always my case. Like even when I went to Denmark, it was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like when I applied for a master, everything was okay till the last day that I have to apply. Then I was like, no, what if they accept me? And then I got the letter of acceptance, and I was so excited. And the next day I was like, oh my God, I'm going to Denmark. Oh my no, what did I do to myself? Please no. It was just like, and I kind of believe when you have these two things going on, like excitement and fear at the same time, that means you have to go for it. If it's just fear, then I would consider like, well, why it's just fear. But if it's both, then just go for it. Like for me, that's working. Like even for the videos that I should upload it, like I was the same. Like I was so excited, but at the other point I was so scared. So I saw these two together. I was just like, let's go. Yeah.
It's a combo.
Yeah, it's a good combo. It shows me that I have to go for it.
Nice, very cool. And one more question that I had for you. Yes, so based on your experience so far, and including the experience that you have here in Toronto, what would you say is one thing that people could do that would improve their lives, but also improve the world in a way, like kind of like a dream goal, that if somebody did just one or two things different?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, okay, there are two things that came into my mind. The first thing is accept yourself, but that's such a hard one. It's such a hard one that I don't even know if that could be my advice, because it's so hard to start with it. But we can start with accepting others. I think it's easier because I think it's easier to start accepting others, because we always feel like the worst for ourselves. But once you start accepting others, like no matter who they are, like whoever cross your path is meant to be there, and you should share a smile with them. And if you can do this for this world, like that would be so good. Like I know it's a hard one. Like if someone said to me before, like just accept everyone, I would say, yeah, I'm accepting everyone. But on the other hand, when I was sitting and a guy came that was strange in any way, I would look at him and I wouldn't judge. I thought I wouldn't judge him, but as soon as you look at him, he kind of feel judged. And I believe that's a case. I mean, in Toronto, there is not a lot of judgment because the city is so huge and the variety is enormous, and you have to accept everyone. You kind of have to. But in Slovenia, this acceptance, it's not there at all. It's like people are judging like big time. So, yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do is like, even though, yeah, I still want to say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even though, like, you have to accept others and everything, I kind of feel, yeah, maybe you have to start with yourself. Yeah. Maybe you have to. It's like, even though I didn't know in which direction I was going when I was working on myself, it was the right decision to work on myself. And if all of us just work on a better self, the world would be so much better. Like, tremendously. But I often, like, all the things that I said, I feel that they are big for so many people. Like, it's easy to say. It's so easy to say, but it's so hard to do it. Because what captures us back is definitely the comfortable zone. And that's also why this fear appeared to going back home, because I'm going to be away from my comfy zones here. I love it.
Yeah, so this became the comfortable zone.
Yeah, of course. It's always like this. If I stay here for another half a year, probably I wouldn't want to live. It's like, it's comfy. You get friends here, you get everything. It's like super good. And that's what also happened if you have your own job. I mean, if you're not working as for yourself, but you have a job, you're so comfy with this job that you just keep on doing everything the same, every fucking day is the same, and that's so boring. That's so Danish. They do this all the time. And maybe when some of the Danes will watch this, they will say, "You said you're our friend, and now you said we are boring." But it is like this. It's like life can be so much fun if we just let it just be who you are. It's like if we go back to the child, like I love to hang out with child. Like the children are so nice. They can teach you so much. Really, because they are not afraid of anything. And even like if a child meets a stranger, like before you tell him 100 times don't talk to a stranger, he will talk to a stranger. He will wave and smile, and that's how children are. And if we can go back to these childish thoughts, it will be so good. I remember the saying I published on Facebook a few days ago. It was if we put a brain of an adult into child's mind, it would take him 8 years to learn how to walk, because he would be so scared of failing and not making it perfect that he would just work on it 80 years. So it's like, when I thought about it, it's like, oh my God, it's what if I fail? What would happen? Is there like, there are always floors that will pick me up. I cannot feel so low.
It's so true. I remember, I probably saw it on your Facebook. I remember seeing it. I'm like, oh my goodness, it is so true. But it's one of these things that people, I've learned that somewhere, where the reason why fear becomes such a big thing for people is because it's not just a fear, it's what they associate with that fear. So they add even more trauma on that, and that's why they're afraid to do anything, like anything that they would start. It could be something like, I don't know, maybe something happened when they were younger that they retain that feeling, and if you do that, something really bad is going to happen, and then it just amplifies and amplifies. So every time you're afraid of something, you add that past fear, and then you're like block. So, but that's
it's all coming from your mind. Everything is here. It's absolutely. Like, oh my God, what we are doing to ourselves. We are just like, we are destroying our life just because we think too much. It's like, I often say to a person, like, if you are here, like you're here, what is wrong? Like, what is missing? There's
right now
nothing. It's like, you're having fun. It's nothing is wrong. It's like, you're here, you're safe, you're okay. So why, like, crying over the past? It's gone, you cannot change it. Why going to the future and worrying about something? You're here, you're safe. It's good. And there are people like, yeah, I'm good, but tomorrow it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, but don't think about tomorrow. It's because as soon as tomorrow will come, you will think about another tomorrow. And
then you never live in the present. Yes. I remember reading that thing where they were saying, like, depression comes from worrying about the past, and anxiety comes from worrying about the future. And if you kind of just stay present, but really stay present, which is hard because every time it's like either one or the other.
Hard. It's like,
but it's worth it.
Yeah, of course it's worth it. It's like, even like I said that I don't want to this interview. I said I don't want to give an impression that I have a perfect life, that I'm perfectly happy, and that everything is going in the right direction. It's like I am being slapped all the time, but I just kind of try to see something positive in everything that happens. Like, even if it sounds like, okay, I fall, or I feel bad, or I feel terrible, I try to get the lesson out of it. Because there is always a lesson in everything. And if you kind of, if you have a trust that you're going in the right direction no matter what, it's easy to find the lesson and just go further. It's just one step at a time. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that it was easy for me. It was really hard. Like, even okay, for Toronto, yeah, I did have a lot of bad days. But still, it was so much better than my past years. It was, learn, right? Yeah. And I want to say to people that it's okay to have struggles, and it's totally fine to be afraid and to not be able to live happy. It's also okay. But you just have to be aware that you have problems. Like, if you are aware that something is missing in your life, that you need to change something, then you have to change it. It's like, don't just overthink about it, and don't just try to find... I mean, we just complain about it, but we don't do anything about it. So the first thing is like, okay, like Tony Robbins, like he said, see things as they are, but not worse than as they are. So just if something is missing, just write it down. Okay, I'm not satisfied with, I don't know, my money situation. But don't say that you're broke, because you can still eat, you can still say, don't see it worse as it is, but see it as it is. And then just try to make it better. Yeah.
Because sometimes you see things that are bad, and then you're wishing that it was better, but you're actually not even doing something about it. Which is...
And I also realized, that's a thing that I didn't point out. It's we are here like together, and we should help each other no matter what. And that's a thing that I really hate in nutrition, because a lot of people are focusing on one particular idea of how they should treat their body, and they're hating another nutritionist that will say something different, when instead we should like collaborate together and try to find the best solution for people. Not just, I think it's so stupid that we try to be competitive, or try to, like, I don't even know why they are doing this, but
ego.
Yeah, ego. Yeah, of course it's ego. But it's always like, you can help one person at a time. Like, you can just help a person with a smile. It can be something so small, and they will help you back. It's like, it just goes around, like whatever comes around goes around.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Action, reaction.
Yes.
The law. It's one of the laws.
Yeah. Even I can see, like, since I have changed, like, since I share like love with the world, it's like people around me are totally different. And even some people that I didn't really like, they don't speak with me anymore.
Interesting.
Because probably I'm too positive now for them, so they just, yeah.
They're just not ready for that level of positivity. I always had this idea in the back of my head that everybody is on their own stage of life type thing, and as you kind of move into different states, for lack of better terms, like some people are new people are going to come, other people are going to go, but it's nothing wrong. It's just like, it's like graduating different levels of school, basically, but in life. Some people are in grade 5, some people are in grade 8.
Exactly.
But they're still in school, it's all good.
Yeah. We are all in school.
Yeah. Oh
We're all
gosh,
here.
school of life.
It's the best one. It's like
Oh yeah.
we have to enjoy it. Be
Absolutely.
grateful for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So nice.
Cool. Let me see if I had any other thing that I want to ask before I forget, but I think we've gone through the entire thing. Plans for the future. Oh yes, one more thing, because now you've experienced the whole idea of moving your life from like one country to another and almost like restarting all over again. What would you think are the great things about doing things like this, and like what are, like the benefits and the disadvantages of moving your life like this?
Okay, the benefits are definitely new experience, new people, and you kind of, when you travel, you don't get the whole idea of how people live there. So you kind of get the expression of the city, but it's just as a tourist. So it depends on the weather you have or something like this. But as you move in a place, then you actually see how people are living, like you connect with them, and it's really like you gain so much experience. You cannot, I don't think you can, it's a different kind of experience. You cannot gain it anywhere else. It's even you have to figure it out all things on yourself. You have to be creative. You have to find a way. You have to live in a house without heaters for 5 days already. You have to find a way. But the disadvantages are definite. I mean, okay, that's not a disadvantage. But I hate to say goodbyes.
No, yeah.
I hate it. Like, this week was all about like saying goodbyes to people, and I was like, I met them and I was like, maybe we can meet one more time before I go. Yeah, I mean, that's also advantage because you have friends all over the world. So whenever, like, even here I met a lot of people that are from different countries that moved here and they will go back. So basically when they go back, I can go in Brazil and have a place there. I can go to Arabia and have a place there. So it's like you can travel to your friends after. So that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because you see them once and then you kind of separated all the other time. But the disadvantage might be also, you are away from people that you'll really love. Like it was the first time I had Christmas away from my family. It's a part of experience, but I'm very family type of a person, so I really miss them. This is a kind of a thing that you have to sacrifice, like, or even if you have usually you have a group of people like friends, and even if someone come to visit you, it's only like one of them. It's not, you rarely get like a whole group of people coming to visit you, so you don't get this, like if you have like any kind of celebrations, you don't have this whole team together, like. But it's not, I mean, I don't feel it's that big of a deal at my age, because I'm still old. I'm still young. And I don't feel it's that bad. But on the other hand, it might be a problem if you have a family, for sure. Like if you have your own husband and children, and it's you cannot do it. Or you can. I still believe I can, but I just have to like find a job that I can work wherever I want, and children that will be able to speak all the languages, so they can move and just be in all the, like they will move in elementary school like 10 times. Nice. No. We'll see.
And do you think you're going to continue the Ordinary Cookie blog when you move back?
Yes, I will. I will continue. Like, there are so many things I want to share with the world. Nice. And I don't know, maybe I will even do the video before I go from Canada. Oh, nice. Then I want to kind of keep them tracking like what is going on, because it's going to be interesting like here I came to the kind of stage where I haven't been before, and now I'm going back. So we'll see what will happen. Like it's gonna be new challenges and new adventures.
Yes.
So yeah, I kind of feel like I need to share it more. Yeah. So yeah, and even yeah, I feel like I need both. Like I love writing, and I love recording. So it's gonna be a combination of both in the future also. But we'll see where it will bring me. It's like I'm not pushing anything anymore. It's like I pushed so many things in life, and it was just like going to the wall and not coming on the other side. When instead you just do it at the moment when it feels right, and just send it to the world, and that's it.
Probably feels better. Good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what else is going to be there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I wonder what's gonna be next.
Yes.
Yeah, but one thing, maybe I will also start. There is a lot of cookies in my life that inspire me, like people that I met randomly or that I just see that they actually are living the life like we all wanted, and they are still super ordinary. They don't have an ego over here. So I was actually thinking about like sharing with the world the people that inspire me and their stories. So maybe I'll go a little bit into this direction also.
Nice. That would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much
Thank you.
for everything.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, it's one of the things that I was thinking about. It's kind of funny how people come into Toronto or whatever country, and with an experience like that, you feel like you're gaining something from it, but you give a lot too. Oof. So I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Come here. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know.
Toronto gave me so much.
Yeah, you gave a lot. You gave a lot as well. So I just wanted to say that. And
Thank you so
before I
much.
start crying a lot. Oh yeah, people can find you. The website is ordinarycookie.com.
Yeah.
Perfect. I guess it's hard because it's a goodbye.
It's
so.
a goodbye. No, again, another one.
But anyway, so yeah, I'll stop this before I continue crying on the camera. So thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye.
I don't even know where to look. I'll probably hear it. Jeez.